property market currently at a record high, it is vital to stay one step ahead of your competition when selling your house. I'm giving 3 sellers the chance to snoop around each other's houses.
A lovely bright room.
No, I'm not coming in. Oh, no, I'm not going in that.
Oh, my God. Well, it overlooks that.
Having checked out their rivals, they'll try to stay ahead of the competition. Today's sellers speak their mind.
The colour is disgusting.
That's made you think coming in here, isn't it?
It's too much wood in here. It's like Giuseppe's workshop.
They're trying to achieve champagne on a beer budget.
With £1,000 to spend, walls go in.
I'm a bit shocked. Is a bed going to fit in this bit?
And dated decor goes.
Bye. Bye, girls.
Who will impress our buyer?
This is how I sort of picture my front room. I don't know if I like this kind of wooden floor.
So which one was your favourite?
I'm in Sutton on the southern outskirts of London. I'm helping 3 homeowners desperate to sell their houses. They're all competing to convince today's buyer, golf sales assistant Lee, to part with his £350,000 budget.
So Lee, you're 24 years old. Instead of taking off around the world and backpacking and blowing all your savings, you're buying a house, aren't you?
Yeah, very first house.
Excited?
Yeah. Very excited, I cannot wait. Me and my girlfriend, she lives with her parents, I live with my parents at the moment, so we want to move out now.
I take it that there wasn't a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You've had to work really hard for this.
Yeah, no, I have. I was working since I was 16, so I've been working hard ever since.
So what are you looking for?
Well, I was going to look for a flat, but now I'm looking for a house.
How many bedrooms do you want?
3 bedrooms. For work purposes, I need an office. I love chilling out and spending time on the sofa and with friends. So yeah, big lounge, open space. I do like a modern look. I think less is more.
So when you first see a property, do you know whether that's the one for you?
Without a doubt. I think walking in straight away, getting them vibes.
So you're going to know?
Yeah, I'm going to
So
know.
this could be quite quick then. I could just pull up outside each house and
exactly.
you go, yeah,
We won't even have to go and I just go, yeah, done, let's go.
Brilliant.
I found 3 great properties which should match Lee's wish list, but he doesn't get to see round them just yet. All 3 sellers now get the chance to check out their rivals' houses. Knowledge is power, so they should learn a thing or 2 about their own home's strengths and weaknesses. And that way, they can beat the competition. Our first sellers are Mike and Sasha in their 3-bedroom 1930s semi. Before meeting Sasha 5 years ago, Mike did the house up to his own very personal taste.
When I decorated this, I wanted to create a Chelsea Kensington look. So hence why I went for sort of coving and painting things gold, natural wood floors.
Very 80s.
No, it's not.
80s.
Mike has rented the house out for over 10 years, but now he wants to sell, and Sasha's struggling to convince him it needs bringing up to date.
I would change the gold. I don't really like the gold leaf. I think it is too dated.
It's a statement, isn't it?
White's fine.
No.
Mike and Sasha's 1930s semi has the 3 bedrooms and the spacious living area that buyer Lee is looking for, plus a large garden and a garage. It's up for sale at offers in excess of £325,000. Up against Mike and Sasha to secure a sale is Emma. She lives with builder hubby Richard and their 2 young girls. It's been a 3-year labour of love to create what she thinks is their perfect contemporary family home.
When we bought this house, it was an absolute wreck. We ripped the whole lot out. Everything is all our hard work. I don't know, some people may call me perfectionist. I think I'm just tidy.
Even though some parts of the house aren't finished, Emma has a particular style when it comes to her decor.
My style, I suppose people would categorise it as contemporary. I like soft furnishings, coloured walls, but I'm proud of my house.
There's an extra bedroom in the loft, bringing the total number to 4, one more than Lee hoped for. But all that space means it's right at the top of Lee's budget at £350,000. The 3rd competing sellers have recently engaged Darren and Tracy, who have combined Darren's traditional tastes and Tracy's love of modern decor in their terraced home.
I call the shots in the bathroom, the kitchen and the bedroom.
Yeah, and I only got to call the shots mainly in the front room. This is my project, this one. This is the way I wanted it done.
Upstairs, 2 of the bedrooms have been knocked through into 1, but that's not stopping Tracy feeling confident about selling.
The style of this house our personal opinions, a 10 out of 10. There is nothing else that I need to do to this house anymore.
Whoever moved in here, they've got nothing to do.
Although it's immaculately presented, Darren and Tracy's modern meets traditional home only has 2 bedrooms, but it could be converted back into 3. The fantastic open-plan living area is the ideal space to chill out in, something that buyer Lee is looking for. And it's 25 grand under budget at £325,000. So it's Mike and Sasha's 1930s semi, Emma's contemporary home, and Darren and Tracy's modern meets traditional house, all competing for my buyer Lee.
Before I show them to him, the sellers get to check out each other's houses to work out what changes they need to make to their own homes.
First, we're at Mike and Sasha's.
Even though Mike and Sasha's house has been rented out for the last 10 years, it still has a lot of Mike's personality running through it. The size and the layout means it has the potential to be amazing, but they just need to show it off a bit better.
And that's obvious to Emma even before she steps inside.
It doesn't really look very appealing from the outside. I think if you're selling something, you want it to be like, wow, look, I want to go in here. I think curb appeal is really important, actually. I am now worried.
And those all-important first impressions don't improve.
Ooh, that's a lot of wood. I feel like I'm in a timber warehouse.
I like the deco around here, it's quite nice. I do like that. You don't like it, I think that's quite nice.
The curtains and the nets have got to go.
They're trying to achieve champagne on a beer budget. It's trying too hard and failing miserably.
So the attempted Kensington and Chelsea look isn't impressing Emma. Maybe she'll like the kitchen.
What have they done? I don't know what they were thinking when they decorated it. Do you know, this reminds me of a working kitchen or something commercial. I don't really want to be in here. It's horrible.
Well, there's always upstairs.
The colour is disgusting.
I wouldn't even put a guest in here, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't feel comfortable sleeping in this room.
So, thumbs down for the decor. Time to see what the rivals make of the £325,000 selling price.
325, that's 25 grand less than my house. You'd have to spend 25 grand just to get it to a standard of modern living, and you could have my house for that.
You know, it's an extra bedroom compared to ours. To me, it's still not worth it.
I think I need to put my house up a bit more.
So while there are lessons for both rivals, neither seller are thinking this is real competition. Next, it's Emma's 4-bedroom contemporary family home.
Some of Emma's rooms are immaculate, and she's obviously a perfectionist when it comes to renovation, which is something the other sellers can learn from. However, it's this dedication which means she's run out of money, and the rest of the rooms aren't finished to the same high standard.
And let's not forget those all-important first impressions.
Seeing a car being rebuilt outside the house, to me, it doesn't show that you're really putting the effort into selling your house.
That bit looks all right. That little bit of the garden.
Just needs finishing off.
Yeah. Looks a bit tired, a bit shabby.
Tired and shabby is the verdict, but I reckon they could be in for a surprise inside.
Pleasantly surprising. That is a shock. I wasn't expecting it to be quite so finished.
The walls, yeah, I think once again it's a lovely little colour. I like the walls.
Blue walls do set off with the brown furniture, but I can still see it being more lighter in it.
Next, the kitchen, which I hope will make Mike and Sasha think about improving theirs.
Nice space. I think there's a lot to do in your kitchen in comparison to this. That's made you think coming in here, isn't it?
Big deal. Big deal.
Result.
Oh, that looks lovely. A little bit unfinished. Oh, wow. Oh, I was expecting that to be a like walk-in shower or something.
It's letting it down that bit because it's not finished off and it needs to be finished off.
It doesn't look good as an airing cupboard, I'm afraid.
The ensuite might be unfinished, but Emma's home has given Mike some real food for thought.
Yeah, I need to modernise the bedrooms, bring it up to date a little bit.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
Whilst the house needs some finishing touches, the spec and the bedrooms means it's priced at £350,000.
I think it's high.
This is all finished, or a lot more finished than yours.
I think it's more competition with the bedrooms. I think the wow factor of this house is the loft. If that was an ensuite, this would be the wow factor of the house.
Yeah.
How big's our loft?
So the style and finish has got her rivals worried. Not only does it have more bedrooms, but that modern sleek look throughout. Finally, we're at Darren and Tracy's 3-bed semi, where they've tried to blend the modern with traditional.
Darren and Tracy have put their heart and soul into this house, but it's a bit of a mishmash of their contrasting styles. And having one less bedroom than the rest of the properties, it has to be in tip-top condition if they want it to sell.
That looks lovely.
Very pretty.
Yeah, the drive looks
Have you had the new
nice, but
roof?
you've got no parking, and that road would get on my nerves.
Shame about the noise, but this is lovely. Much nicer than the front of my house.
Inside, first stop is the traditional sitting room.
A gun on the wall, pretty random, and bullets. I think they could have been a bit more adventurous with the colours. They could have used other furniture to set the room off.
But it's upstairs where Darren and Tracy have sacrificed their 3rd bedroom in order to get a bigger master bedroom that their rivals may see their advantage.
Never seen someone wanting to lose a bedroom for somewhere to sit.
Yeah, it's very, very open, very, very wide. But how much time would you spend up here, though?
Quite a lot.
Quite a lot.
This house might only have 2 bedrooms, but it's the same price as Mike's at £325,000.
Getting quite a long house for that.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
quite...
but you've lost the room.
It's a nice finish. You needed to do this to see the difference in the dated kind of look that yours is to modern. Have you got it?
I have got it now, yes, very much indeed.
This house is finished top to bottom. However, if you had a family, you would have to reintroduce a wall to make a 3rd bedroom. That itself is quite a lot of work.
So lessons for both here, Mike on the decor and Emma on those first impressions. Our buyer, Golf Sales Manager Lee, is looking for his first house in Sutton.
For me, it's a massive step. I'm nervous, but very excited at the same time. It's like a new step in your life.
I've lined up 3 potential properties for Lee to view. But before I show him round, the sellers have checked out their rivals' homes to see how they compare.
You needed to do this to see the difference in styles and what everyone else has got at the moment compared to your Kensington, Chelsea, Mexican boudoir.
I've got a few ideas that I'd like to put in my house that I think would change people's opinions.
Thinking about the colours in our rooms, maybe 1 or 2 rooms could do with a little bit of colour.
Yeah.
So our sellers have seen their competition and they have £1,000 and 1 week to make those crucial changes and bag themselves a sale.
But first, I want to make sure they'll spend the cash wisely, starting with Mike and Sasha's.
You've been to look at the other houses. What did you think of them?
Oh, Mike so needed to see them.
Why did you need to see them?
Because this is a little dated. It was good for him to go and see what else is there.
I want to start in this room. Now, you have a little expression, don't you? What do you call it? It's Kensington and Chelsea.
That's right, yeah.
One of the other sellers said that it was a bit champagne taste and beer money. I prefer fur coat, no knickers, which is an expression my nan used to say. There are little tweaks and little things that you can do in this room. Number 1...
Painting the gold leaf.
Wow, that was actually going to be my number 2, but we can have it as number 1. How long did it take you to paint all these?
Long time, long time.
It does date it. It really does. It needs to go.
But while this room has too much of Mike's dated taste, what it really lacks is personality.
It has that feel of an empty old house.
House, yes, yeah.
You need to dress these rooms. I'd like to see the white being painted white.
Yeah, but that wouldn't match with my...
This thing that I also want to see you painted white. Yeah. It's too much wood in here. It's like Giuseppe's workshop.
Pinocchio's going to come back.
Exactly.
Giuseppe's workshop.
But it's too dated.
You know how painful
I
that
know.
But you're not living here. You're not
Yes,
living
I
here.
know, but it's unique.
Brace yourself, Mike, as that's only the start. Next, the kitchen.
What do you think the other sellers said when they came into your luxury kitchen?
Green?
Should we talk about the paint effect?
Yes, lovely, that.
Did you do it?
I did.
Really? There isn't an enormous amount of work that needs to be done in here. Keep the units, they're fine. I would paint over them. The other thing that I feel you need to do with this kitchen is personalise it. Make it feel like a kitchen.
Yes.
Things like jars of pasta,
A
bread
kettle.
bin, a kettle, little things. It makes it feel more like a home. I mean, the good news is you've not got to rip the whole thing out. You've just got to give it a bit of TLC.
No, I was prepared to do
that.
it.
Not so bad after all.
Well, Mike seems to be taking the message on board, but I'm expecting more of a battle in the bedroom.
So, the Mexican boudoir meets Barbara Cartland. That's kind of how I like to call and envisage this room. Would you like to know what the other sellers thought about it?
I do.
Old-fashioned, dated. They felt that these built-in units really enclosed the space.
I think it's time to get radical.
It's all got to go. You've got to hire a really big skip. This is so dated now and so old-fashioned. And it also limits how somebody is going to lay out the room. How do you feel about it? I could tell that sharp intake of breath you weren't that impressed.
Not at all. Not at all. There's a lot of work went in
But
there.
do you honestly now think that this looks good?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes, because you can move in it and put your stuff straight away.
It's a broken man. He's broken him.
Very broken.
Yeah.
Broken or not, I need Mike to roll up his sleeves and embrace the changes.
Bless him. I love Mike, but it does feel like he's sort of stuck in an 80s time warp. It's a great house, it's a great size, but it just feels really unloved and abandoned, and there is an awful lot of work to do if they want to get this house sold quickly.
I thought Amanda's advice was brilliant, actually. I thought you needed to hear that from somebody else as well. And I totally agree. I totally agree with their decorating advice.
I totally disagree.
To convince Mike to lose that gold leaf decor, I'm kicking him into action.
I'm going to paint over the gold just to give you an idea of how modern it can look as opposed to dated. I'm afraid, Mike, it is time to say goodbye to the Kensington and Chelsea look and embrace the modern age.
Bye, gold leaf.
Bye, Kensington. Bye, Chelsea. It's very lovely to have known you, but it's time to go. Now, obviously, Mike, seeing as you are a much better painter than I am. I mean, I know, this is a first coat and it's not been, but just the difference between that and that already.
You prefer that, don't you?
Got a lot of work on your hands, Sasha.
I have. I prefer the white.
I'm leaving. Have fun.
Thank you.
Now it's up to Sasha to drag Mike into the 21st century and get rid of the rest of that dated gold leaf.
Bye. Bye, gold. See, that looks so much nicer.
In your eyes, yes.
Next, I'm at Emma's contemporary family home. Now she's seen the competition, I'm hoping she realises there's more to do than she first thought.
Now, Emma, what do you think is going to be the first thing I talk about out here? The car, or sort of half the car, isn't it? It's obviously been in a bit of a squash.
It has, unfortunately.
Whose car is that?
That's my brother's car.
So you pull up outside the front of this and you're hit by that car. The first thing you do is go, I'm not going in there, I'm going on.
That's his responsibility. I will make sure he gets rid of that.
Now, I can see that you've started to make an effort.
Yes.
And it does look lovely. And then you get to there, and what happened?
That took about 25 bags, which we thought would do the lot.
You need to finish it, though, because what it shows is that you don't care.
Yeah.
Is it something that you're prepared to do?
Oh, most definitely.
Emma's not afraid of using colour inside the house, so I'd like to see her be just as bold to sort out the tatty outside.
I'd like to see you pick a colour that would go along that fence and along that fence.
OK.
Do you think it's all stuff that you could do?
I think it's a great idea. I actually like the idea of the fences. I really didn't take that into consideration at all.
From pulling up outside the house, 29% of people will make their minds up as to whether or not they go inside. And then once they're inside, literally as they go through the front door, 40% will make up their minds. So 29% of people will have a look at your house and think, I'm not going in. You've got to get them in the door, that's the thing.
Yeah. I just thought it was kind of, oh, maybe they'll see past it, but obviously, lots of people judge books by the cover, and this is not a very nice cover.
No, at the moment it's not, but with a few tweaks, it could be.
Getting people over the threshold is the first part of the battle. I also want to talk to Emma about that unfinished ensuite in the master bedroom.
This space is gorgeous. I have to say, it's so pretty. Can we talk about that thing that's over my shoulder? What was that supposed to be?
That will be an ensuite. It was just the most expensive part to finish off the room. Yeah.
So if you can show that finished, and this can be marketed as, you know, the grown-up suite,
yes,
it will make an enormous amount of difference.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm delighted Emma's up for getting the ensuite finished off. Parts of Emma's house are immaculate and so well presented, but other areas of it feel very unloved and neglected. If she wants to sell this house fast, she really needs to tackle those areas.
I wanted the ensuite done for about just over a year, and every time we've kind of saved up to do it, something else has come along. So yeah, no, it's exciting. I'm so pleased that we've got the opportunity now to really give it some welly and just make it look a beautiful space.
Emma's builder husband Richard gets on with plasterboarding the walls of the shower unit in the ensuite. Doing the work himself will save them a considerable amount of money.
We just never get to finish anything in your own house, do you? Because obviously the builder's house always gets left till last, doesn't it? It's not to suit our requirements, it's just to get the bathroom finished will obviously enhance the sale of the property.
The rest of the home is finished to such a good standard, and Emma will no doubt see it's done properly.
Emma's a bit of a perfectionist. She likes everything done to quite a good standard, and if it's not, she lets me know.
Good luck, Richard. The final property is Darren and Tracy's, and I'm hoping the snoop has made them realise they've got work to do.
You've had a look at the competition. Where do you think you stand in the rankings?
The top. No, I feel very, very confident.
Yeah.
Very confident.
Right, clearly some stern words are needed.
What you have in this room is an awful lot of brown. Brown sofas, brown curtains, brown floor, brown furniture, brown rug, brown cushions, brown lampshade, brown. There's a lot of brown going on in here. But I would like to see a more chalky colour on the walls.
No, I might have to experiment first, and if I don't like it, then I will have to stick to
back.
the walls.
That's fine.
You know,
that's fine. What was your thinking behind putting guns on the fireplace?
Well, it reminds me back of my youth days when I used to be in the cadets. It's just memorabilia, really.
What do you think it says to potential viewers?
Yeah, they might think, oh, God, what are we getting into?
I think that there are certain things within this room that you need to remove, the guns being one, the gaming machines at the back. I mean, I get that they're yours and that you love them, but they're not to everybody's taste.
I totally agree with that area.
Darren's guns have been decommissioned, so he is legally allowed to keep them. But I'm glad Tracy agrees. They're a crime against good taste, and that she's open to the idea of injecting some colour into Darren's traditional living room. But the real problem in this house is upstairs.
Your house is competing with three-bedroom houses in this area. What families need are bedrooms. These would need to be a double bedroom and a single bedroom, and the back bedroom would have to become your master bedroom. Mm-hmm. So what you would need to do is build a stud wall along here. Is it something you would consider doing?
It would be a little bit of a question mark. I need to go into it a little bit further.
Yep.
I can understand what you're saying. It would be more appealing if it was a three-bedroom. An idea.
An idea.
An idea.
Ponder on.
Yes.
Well, I hope they don't just ponder.
Darren and Tracy can't do anything about the fact that they live on a very busy road, but they can change the number of bedrooms that they have. Whether or not they'll be brave enough to do that, however, remains to be seen.
There's also the downstairs to do, and I'm giving them inspiration to get started.
So this is a mood board. Now, this is what a lot of interior designers use. Go out and buy as many magazines as you can, get as many sort of paint swatches, fabric swatches, and then slowly but surely you build up an entire mood board. Well, I mean, what do you think of it? Have you ever seen one of these before?
No, I haven't, no.
But it gives you an idea, doesn't it, of what you could create.
Yeah. I would never thought of doing anything like this.
You know, we were talking about maybe trying to get away from the slight beiges that are adorning all the walls in your house and looking at, I was talking the sort of soft, chalky colours. I think these sort of colours around here are lovely.
And it's still warm and homely. You can see it.
Could you envisage injecting a bit of colour into this room?
Now I've seen the colours, some of them blues look quite nice colours. I could vision, those colours on the wall, and I think it would suit it.
You can see that what you do have here is the traditional mixed in with the contemporary, which I guess is what you guys are. So you can marry the two looks together and still create a really beautiful home, but it doesn't have to be one or the other. There can be a mixture.
Armed with their mood board, Darren and Tracy head off to buy paint, and it seems I've convinced them to inject some colour into the living room.
Amanda said, you know, these sort of colours here, so you don't want it too dark and you don't want it too light. It's got to be, I reckon, that sort of blue.
Actually, that matches.
Yeah, once it's on the wall, I think that will look nice.
So we've got to make a decision.
Yeah.
So I think we go for a light blue, not dark blue, a light blue.
Spot on. 3 homeowners in the London borough of Sutton are competing with each other to sell their home to our buyer, Lee.
For me, buying this house, I've worked really hard up to this stage. I've always saved my money. I've always been smart with my money, and I'm thinking now is a good time to get on the ladder.
After stealing tips from snooping around each other's houses and a few home truths from myself, the sellers are well underway to improve their homes to secure themselves a sale. Darren and Tracy have seen the light to brighten up their sitting room, while Sasha has convinced Mike to paint over the dated gold leaf in the sitting room. Emma's husband Richard has been hard at work in the ensuite. She's determined to keep him on track.
I would have liked a shelf. It's turned out to be awkward, isn't it?
It's not awkward, it's just time. I haven't got enough time to do it. I've got enough to do today already.
When selling your house, every inch is worth money, and being clever with a small space is key. This area could have just been used as an under-eave storage, but with a clever design, they found room for a shower and used a slimline loo and compact hand basin to fit in a small space. They've already bought the sanitary ware, but are spending most of their £1,000 budget on plumbing, plasterboarding and plastering.
It's coming along well. There's still a lot to do. I'm just worried about the time because obviously Richard will do it properly, but he's under a lot of pressure and it needs to look good.
With the outside of the house also needing attention, Emma's decided to tackle the fence herself.
I'm probably doing this really candidly. I'm terrible at painting. I like picking colours, but I'm not the best at putting them on walls. I make a mess.
Is it dripping on her side?
Yeah, I've just had to agree
to
paint her side as well.
Excellent.
Oops, Emma may have just doubled her workload, but it will definitely be worth the effort. All 3 sellers are busy making their crucial changes, but it's only a matter of days until our buyer Lee comes to have a look around. So they have to keep up the hard work if they want to beat the competition. Speaking of competition, Sasha is taking great pleasure in painting Mike's dated effect on the kitchen units.
Green is going. It's just, there's a lot to do, a lot more than I think we realised to do, actually. A hell of a lot more to get it up to kind of par with you know, the other sellers.
For a professional job, I'd suggest sanding, filling and priming the doors before painting, but Sasha's just happy to be painting over those green grain doors. Upstairs, Mike is dragging his heels about removing those built-in wardrobes.
I'm only doing this to create a space in this corner, but to remove that lot, there's a lot more work involved and there's not enough time. I created all this whole look, so it's a part of me and a part of my memory. And to actually redo something is hard because I know how much time and effort it went into doing this in the first place.
Yes, but it's not you that's going to be living here. It's a shame, as it would make this room feel much better to potential buyers. With masses of painting to be done, Mike roped in a mate to help remove that Mexican boudoir look.
How are you getting on, Dean?
I'm all right, mate. Getting on with it.
Yeah, you're going to get it done, Dean?
I'll try. We'll burn the midnight oil.
I'll carry on downstairs then.
All right. I was sleeping in my bed today. Got a phone call about 10 o'clock in the morning. Can I come to London? And here I am. There you go. What you do for old mates. Never answer the phone, that's what I say.
But it seems everyone's hard at work.
All looks nice, fresh, clean, and tidy. At least now it looks like someone's coming here and lovingly giving it a once-over, give it a new lease of life.
Darren and Tracy have set upon painting the sitting room, whilst upstairs they've decided to follow my advice and reinstate that all-important 3rd bedroom.
It's looking good already, mate. Yes. It's getting there.
It does.
You can see the room, innit? You know, this is still going to be quite a big room once it's done.
So, yeah.
They've called in a builder they've used before, Sinan.
You're in charge of the stud wall.
Yes.
How easy is it to put one in?
Well, for us, it's quite easy. All you have to do is just go into builders merchants, calculate how much timber you need, plasterboard, installation in between the rafters, and just straight in plasterboards.
So maximum for a job like Darren and Tracy's, we're talking maybe a day?
Call it a day for 2 guys.
It may seem like a massive job to erect a new wall, but it's not as daunting as it sounds or expensive.
And do you need to plaster it afterwards?
Well, you can do both. I mean, easy and quicker is going to be joint and tight plasterboard if you're going to start plastering, and then you have to be quite professional to do the plastering.
Putting the stud wall up could cost around £400. Darren and Tracy have decided to plaster the walls for an extra smooth finish, costing an extra £180.
For the average person, i.e. me, it's best to get somebody professional in like you, isn't it?
Obviously, yeah, it's best to get someone that knows what he's doing.
I can just come in and paint it at the end.
That's it, yeah.
My advice was that they needed 3 bedrooms to compete, and with the walls mid-build, Tracy's about to see what was her master suite for the first time.
I'm a bit shocked. Is a bed going to fit in this bit?
Yeah, definitely go in there, yeah.
My master bedroom's gone completely. All I can see is just 2 small rooms that you're not going to move about in.
Time is running out before buyer Lee is due to look round, and Emma's doing those important finishing touches. Emma's once tired and run-down drive has now been upgraded to suit her modern contemporary style.
It's totally transformed the space, hasn't it? You have been so busy out here. Just by painting a few fence panels, getting rid of the old car and finishing off the rest of the garden. Are you pleased with it?
I'm so pleased. This is now another one of my favourite spaces.
Well, I think it looks fantastic, so well done you. Can we go and have a look inside?
Yes, of course you can.
And where there used to be a confusing corner space in the loft bedroom, now buyers can see how the space works as an ensuite.
You're getting there, aren't you?
We tried so hard to get it all finished. We wanted the buyer to see it, but it was just the time was against us.
Yeah. But I think the beauty of it as it is that you can see that it's done. For most people, tiling isn't that big a job. Are you pleased with the way it's all turned out?
I am, actually. It's been an experience.
Yeah.
It's kind of given us the oomph to get things finished where they should have been, really, in the first place.
We'll try and get it sold for you. That's the next step, isn't it?
Yes.
At Mike and Sasha's, it's all hands on deck. Having spent their full £1,000 on the decor, he's had to borrow from neighbours to dress the sitting room.
Yeah, it's a great transformation for this room. I had reserves because I've always liked it as my bit of Kensington and Chelsea, and now I've upgraded myself to Sloane Square now.
And you're liking it.
Yeah, I'm liking it, yeah.
The living room used to feel dated and unlived in. Getting rid of the gold details and heavy curtains has brought it up to date.
Radiator covers, I noticed you still kept. It was that like you're defiant, I am not painting everything in this house.
I thought I would compromise. You know, I worked tirelessly to cover up the gold, and I thought, you know what?
She's not having a radiator covers.
There's no compromise. There was, they're not being painted.
Mike and Sasha's kitchen was tired and unloved. But simply painting the cupboards and adding new handles for £180 has given it a new lease of life.
The kitchen's been transformed as well. You know, it's amazing what just painting the doors and sticking a few new handles up can make.
Massive difference. I was surprised at that.
And just putting a few little touches like the tea and the coffee pots and things like that, but it just makes it feel a little bit more homey, doesn't it?
Although Mike couldn't bring himself to rip out his built-in wardrobes, toning down the Mexican boudoir theme has created a light, tranquil, relaxing space.
There appears to be no Mexican boudoir, but there still appears to be a 1970s built-in wardrobe unit. So naughty. Is this, again, an act of defiance or just didn't have the time?
Didn't have time.
But you have painted over it.
I've painted over the boudoir, yeah.
Yeah, and it makes a massive difference.
Yeah, it's not a Jaffa cake in there.
It was pretty orange, wasn't it?
Over at Darren and Tracy's, inspired by my mood board, they've gone out and bought matching accessories for the sitting room, and Tracy's happy now the whole scheme has come together.
It just so brightens up the room. I am really, really pleased with it.
Yeah.
It's bright, it feels modern. By the curtains, it's transformed by 50% completely. I'm so pleased.
Yeah, no, it looks really nice. You've done a good choice.
Darren's traditional sitting room used to be a colour-free zone and really dark. Removing the guns and fruit machines, combined with an injection of colour, has created a modern, welcoming space.
I can't believe the difference. It's like walking into a different room. You must be delighted with it.
It's a smile on my face.
Yeah. Has it turned out how you thought it would?
Better.
Yeah,
Better,
definitely,
I must
100%.
admit.
Yeah.
What you've managed to do now is marry both of your loves together, and it really does look fantastic.
Once everything went together, no, it is a homely thing.
Really, really works.
Their master bedroom has now been converted into 2 smaller bedrooms, opening the house to a wider market.
I appear to have walked into a 3-bedroom house. How happy are you?
Now, very happy.
Yeah.
Really, really happy.
Definitely.
When you suggested it,
Not.
I didn't like the idea at all. Looking at it now, absolutely fantastic.
I mean, what you've done is you've just opened up another huge part of the market. You're now appealing to families. I've poked my head in next door, and both the bedrooms are good sizes.
Yeah.
So has all the blood, sweat and tears been worth it?
Yes, absolutely, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I'm in Sutton on the outskirts of London, preparing to show buyer Lee round 3 properties. After snooping round their rivals' houses to see where they need to improve, the sellers have now finished all their work, with Sasha and Mike having successfully ditched the Kensington and Chelsea look.
It was looking tired and bedraggled, a bit like me now, so I need a makeover now for myself.
Emma has tidied up the outside of the house and she's delighted with the ensuite, which is just a few tiles from being finished to the same perfectionist standard as the rest of the interior.
Now I actually feel quite confident. I'm so relieved that just a bit of paint and some slate could make such a big difference.
And Darren and Tracy are happy they've taken the plunge and reinstated the 3rd bedroom.
We're pleased for ourselves that we have done the 3rd bedroom. It's a big, big bonus now.
All 3 homeowners worked endlessly to transform their homes. Now it's time for my buyer Lee to have a look around. We're starting at Darren and Tracy's modern meets traditional house.
First impressions.
Do you know what? I love it. The only problem that I've got is the road and there's no driveway coming into the front way.
And you're right, it is a noisy road, but hear it out here and then we'll go in and see what you think.
Yeah, definitely.
Not a great first impression, but I'm sure that the living room that's gone from bland to beautiful will give him that wow factor.
So you've got your living room stroke dining room.
Yeah, this looks amazing. I love it. It looks really good.
And listen, you know, there is no road traffic noise in here.
Well, I can't hear anything.
And I know that you said you wanted modern. Is this modern enough?
This is modern. This is how I sort of picture my front room.
We're on the right track.
It's definitely on the right tracks.
But will the kitchen be to Lee's taste?
First thoughts, it's quite small.
Yeah.
It's a bit too small for me.
I mean, what you could do is get this wall down, but you could look at maybe creating a huge open plan living, dining, kitchen area.
That'd be, that'd be perfect.
Lee wanted 3 bedrooms so he could use one as an office, so hopefully reinstating the 3rd bedroom will meet his needs.
And this is bedroom number 2. You've got 3 bedrooms up here. So I would see this as your guest bedroom.
They're reasonable sizes. I wasn't thinking of anything too big anyway. I think that's a nice size for an office or to put your stuff in. Then this is just a reasonable size bedroom.
Even without a drive, Lee seems interested in the house.
It's on the market for $324,950, and I think there's probably room for a wee bit of negotiation.
I would have thought, just the way it was done up, I thought that would have been a lot more than that.
Well, we're off to a flying start then, aren't we, Lee?
Yeah, no, perfect.
Brilliant, good.
Brilliant.
Let's see if we can impress you with the other 2.
Darren and Tracy's changes have paid dividends, but Lee ideally wants somewhere to put his car. So next, I'm taking him to Mike and Sasha's 1930s semi.
So, very different option this time.
Yes,
First impressions.
Driveway, perfect.
Do you like wood?
I do, depending on what colour it is. I can go along with
There's a lot of wood in this house. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Come and have a look.
First, it's Mike's once dated sitting room that's been brought into the 21st century.
So as you can see, it's another similar layout to the house that we've just come from.
Yeah,
so you've got your sort of living area, your dining room.
Yeah, I like it. I think nice space, really good. I don't know if I like this kind of wooden floor. When you're walking on it, it sounds very echoey and there's a lot of noise going on.
But the size of the room and the way that it works? Could you see yourself living somewhere in
Without
this sort of
that,
space?
yeah, I do. I love the open space.
Going well. What will you think of Mike's updated kitchen?
So here's your kitchen. Bigger.
Bigger, yeah, which I love. I think it is a nice size. I like it. I do like it a lot.
Good reviews so far from Lee, but will Mike's fitted wardrobes put him off?
How do you feel about fitted? Well, something like a fitted village, isn't it? It's not just a fitted wardrobe.
Yeah, for me, that's quite an old sort of look. I'd just, take all of that down.
If you look at how deep it is,
there'd be quite a lot of room when you take it all out.
imagine the space you'd get.
Yeah.
So the house in general, how do you feel about it?
The house in general, I feel like there's a lot of work to be done to it, but that doesn't frighten me.
Lee seems really interested in this 3-bed semi, and the price will leave him with enough money to put his own stamp on it.
Now, it's on the market for £325,000.
Okay.
Your budget is £350,000, so it would give you a spare 25 grand to really put some love into this.
The 25 grand, I could really spend well here.
But in the next house, Lee would barely have to do a thing, as we're off to Emma's. The tatty exterior has now got a contemporary modern feel.
So Lee, this is going to be the biggest property that I'll be showing you.
It's first impression.
Yeah?
Very impressed, yeah. This is exactly what I'm looking for in front of the house. Very neat and tidy. They've looked after the front drive, so I'm looking forward to getting inside.
I think you are going to like inside. Should we go on in?
Yeah.
Come on then.
Bingo, that's exactly the first impression Emma was hoping for. It's lucky he didn't see the state it was in before.
Come on through.
Wow.
It's bigger, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
I
a
like
much
it
bigger
straight away.
space.
Yeah. Definitely.
What do you like about it?
Bit of carpet already, I like. I like the wooden floor.
Yeah.
Nice bit of lighting as well up
Yeah.
on here. So it's ticking all the boxes straight away.
I love this kitchen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it too.
It's got that great family kitchen diner feel to it.
You can have people running around and you're not bumping into each other. So yeah, no, I really like that.
Emma's perfectionist standards downstairs are getting the thumbs up.
This is, it's something different with the house.
Yeah.
Coming up to the top.
Stick your head round there. There's an ensuite. The shower's in there. The toilet's in. So it's all plumbed in, ready to go. The only thing left to do is tiling.
Yeah. It's cute. It's like a cute little place to go, and you don't even have to go downstairs to go to the toilet in the night. It's perfect.
With the ensuite installed, the house should now justify its asking price.
Now, how much do you think this one's on for?
I reckon I'm going to say about $360, $370.
Oh, well, that's all right then. It's $350, so top end of your budget.
Oh, fantastic.
But there's nothing to do.
I thought it'd be a lot more than that, to be fair.
Well, there you go.
I'm really
Don't
impressed
tell
with
them
that.
though.
Yeah.
That's a lot of food for thought now,
Yes,
then, isn't
it is, definitely.
So, all 3 houses have upped their game, making it a very tricky decision for Lee. Will he go for Darren and Tracy's modern meets traditional house? Mike and Sasha's 1930s semi with all that potential? Or will the extra ensuite bedroom in Emma's loft tempt him to buy his first house?
So let's start sort of cutting a few of them out. Which one didn't you like?
Probably the 1930s semi.
Okay, and why was that?
I didn't get that feeling when I first walked in that, this is where I want to sort of live.
So that just leaves us with the modern stroke traditional and the contemporary house. So let's talk about what you liked about the modern versus traditional one.
I liked the 2 fireplaces. I thought that was brilliant. Open plan, and the fact that we could knock that kitchen down and just make it into one big room.
Yeah. So let's talk about the contemporary one. What were you thinking with that one?
Once first of all, walking straight up into the driveway, I thought, nice driveway. It was a nice tidy garden at the front. They looked after it. It just looked really pleasant. I'd personally like, if I was being picky, I'd probably like it to be more open planned.
So which one was your favourite?
The contemporary one.
Brilliant.
Yes.
And why was it? Was it just a feeling? You just know?
Initial vibe going through, and it happened straight from the front, from the word go.
Yeah.
Pros, great drive, and just the colour scheme of it was nice.
All ready to go.
Yeah.
So your next step is what? Are you going to go back?
So I'm going to go back. I want to take my parents, my girlfriend, and her parents as well.
Exciting though.
Yeah, no, I'm really
Get
excited.
in there quick.
Yeah,
Let
I'm
me
going to
know
do it.
how it goes.
Yeah, without a doubt.
That sounds promising.
I feel really pleased. I feel like all our hard work has kind of paid off, and to think that there's 2 other houses in contention and that they've picked ours, I'm like...
But the other sellers have also given themselves a much better chance of attracting a buyer.
Just give it a push
It's definitely been
sort
worth
this one
doing.
out.
It has been worth doing because it has just changed the look of the entire house. And yeah, no, somebody will come in and they will love it.
Yeah.
And either they will treat it as a project or they'll be quite happy to move in and they'll love what they see.
Obviously, yeah, disappointed, but we like our property. We like the 3-bedroom, we like the front room. So it was an absolute experience, but we love it. I think the property will sell.
Yeah.
Definitely will sell.
After giving it a lot of thought, Lee decided not to put an offer in on Emma's house, and he has continued on his search to find that ideal property. The good news is Emma did receive a full asking price offer from another buyer, but decided not to take it and is putting the house back on the market for more money. Darren and Tracy have fallen in love with their updated house and have decided to stay. And Mike and Sasha upped the asking price of their house to £340,000 and are considering an offer of £335,000.